Hello everybody and welcome to something a little bit different. Today we will be going over every single character in Smash and what their ideal buff and nerf should be. Full disclosure, some of these are based off my own opinions and others I asked people on Discords and Reddit what they think their characters should be buffed and nerfed for. Also, I don't think that every single character needs a buff and every single character needs a nerf. It's just for the sake of the video. Pretty much every single buff will be for the purpose of making that character more competitively viable. However, with the nerfs, some will be for balance reasons, like the more overpowered S tier characters, while others will actually be more for the benefit of online casual play. These nerfs will help eliminate the gimmicks and spammy gameplay that makes quick play as notoriously toxic and unfun as it is. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Oh, my name is Spinecar, by the way, if you're new. Starting off with Mario, one of the most well-rounded characters in the game, despite not having huge hitboxes. If there's one thing I'd change, it would be to give him a bigger spiking hitbox on his forward air. It really is heartbreaking to try to finish off a great combo with a spike, and you either whiff or don't get the right hitbox. It's also really punishable on stage if you misinput it, so it should have a bigger reward factor. And for his nerf, I would just give more end lag on up smash. It's probably the most spammable smash in the game, and for a move that kills from 100 to 120, you shouldn't be able to spot dodge cancel into another one if you whiff the first one, or just throw out two in a row before your opponent can react. Some people might not agree with me on this one, but for DK, I would just give less end lag to his grounded up special. It's pretty easy to avoid, and you shouldn't be punished with a fully charged F smash for trying it. And for his nerf, you should be able to mash out of cargo throw a lot easier. I can't tell you how many DKs I've come across online who can't think of another way to kill than just carry you off stage. You can get tossed into the blast zone at like 70%, and for characters with bad recoveries, it feels like cheating. Link is notorious for having very slow ground moves, and his dash attack is the worst of them all. It's really only used to punish mistechs at low percents, and unlike other characters with poor dash attacks, he doesn't have quick tilts either like Lucina, who can use them as substitutes. And for his nerf, I would make his up B out of shield slightly weaker. I get it's your quickest out of shield option at frame 7, I don't think it should be slower, I just think it shouldn't kill at 85 to 90%. And for Samus, we're going to talk about her nerf first. I think her down special needs so much more end lag. I am beyond tired of Samus players using this to get out of every single option just to get to the other side of the stage so they can camp underneath the platform. But don't worry, Samus players, I got you. I know you're gonna complain, oh, that's how we recover horizontally, ha 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 ha. No, that's my buff. You get more horizontal distance on your up special. Now stop spamming down B, stop platform camping. It's not bait and punish, it's garbage gameplay. Oh, speaking of garbage gameplay, while I'm still rambling going into the next character's clip, Yoshi's down air definitely needs to be nerfed. Either give it more end lag, make the hitbox smaller, or make it do less damage, I don't care, just fix it. But for his buff, I think it would be a good idea to make Yoshi's side B optimal by letting you jump out of it, similar to Inkling's roller off stage. It would give him better recovery options and just make this move actually have a purpose. Now for Fox, I was gonna say his buff should be to give his down air a spiking hitbox, but my Reddit acquaintances convinced me otherwise, saying that it's good to set up smash KOs. And besides, a much bigger issue is Fox's extremely vulnerable recovery. I think giving more priority to the hitboxes on his up special, and also grabbing ledge easier on his Fox illusion would definitely help fix this problem. And for his nerf, I know this says it's not a true combo, but it sure does feel like it, and you should be able to DI a lot faster before he hits you with the 9th up tilt in a row. Despite being very broken, Pikachu's main weakness is that he has a hard time killing on stage without a good read in a smash attack. So instead, I would just make his forward tilt a little bit stronger so it kills earlier than 150. An honorable mention would be to make Thunder hit Pikachu as quick as it does Pichu, because it's really hard to get the timing right without your opponent being in the perfect position to get him dragged down into you. And for his nerf, I think back air should not be able to be stringed together 5 to 6 times in a row. I'm sorry, ESAM and other Pikachu players, but with the increased end lag on back air I'm proposing, you will not be able to kill your opponents off stage at 20 to 30% anymore. I'm sorry, I know it sucks. But speaking of things that suck, oh my god, Luigi's horizontal recovery is atrocious. Therefore, I think there should be less end lag on side specials so you can use it 1 or 2 more times when you're off stage. Or raise the chances of getting him as Fire. For his nerf, I was gonna say something about his grab combos, however, they are essentially the essence of his gameplay, especially at top tier play. That's all you have to rely on. So instead, I'll just fix some more online grievances and give more end lag to his forward air, because you can just throw this out with no consequence. It's basically a lingering hitbox wall that needs perfect timing to get through. Also, we all need to admit that this is a problem. For Ness, I think his PK rocket needs to travel more distance. If your opponent's at low percent, then they can just risk going off stage and getting hit by it just to gimp you. And so you don't risk flying off stage while you're styling on somebody. You should also be able to manipulate your movement a little more while you're falling. I know a lot of players will just tell you to SDI out of it, but for a lot of lower level players, PK Fire is an absolute nightmare. 45,000 GSP Johnny does not want to go online, face a Ness, and take 50 to 60% from 5 PK Fires in a row. So I think it should have more end lag to make it less spammable and more punishable. I don't think any group of players complains about their character more than Captain Falcon mains, but I'll admit that their grab kinda sucks. While the speed of it is pretty good, the range is awful and also inconsistent. However, I would definitely make the hitbox smaller if not slower on his raptor boost while on the ground, because it covers both standing and jumping opponents way too easily. Jigglypuff's buff and nerf kind of go together, so I'm gonna go over the nerf first. I think Sing should have a smaller hitbox and or last for a shorter amount of time. Yeah, it's punishable, but at low level play, it's way too easy to land on unsuspecting opponents, and it's also the lamest way to land a rest. So for his buff, I would either make the rest hitbox bigger, or like the last patch, give Jigglypuff more combos to set into rest. Peach is arguably the best character in the game, so it was hard to find a buff. I was going to talk about Toad and say how it's inconsistent, but they actually fixed that in an earlier patch, so instead I'm going to go for her forward tilt. It's not strong, it doesn't combo, and it's definitely the least used move in her kit, so I would probably just give it a little bit more kill power. There were a lot of nerf options, but I settled for Peach Bomber. It's way too safe on shield, almost impossible to punish, does way too much shield damage, does too much knockback. This move is just way too free, so I would give it the same property as like Diddy Kong side special, where she can only use it once in the air and she has to land first before doing it again. Or just make it weaker in general, I don't care, just make Peach less terrifying. Bowser is a very powerful character with a lot of big hitboxes, but his Nair is neither of those things. It's weak, it does not hit consistently, it doesn't really combo. I think if anything, the hitbox should just be bigger. Or instead of his Nair, give him a grab combo. He has literally 0 grab combos. I was tempted to say Fire Breath needs less damage output, but I think his side special command grab needs to be nerfed most of all. Either reduce the knockback, make it more punishable, or make it actually possible to mash out of and be able to recover when he tries to take you off stage with him. Just stop the cheese. Ice Climbers was hard because I have very little experience with them, and they're just such a unique character, so for the buff, I think her disadvantage state is really bad, and therefore, at the very least, she should have a better recovery without Popo, or Nana, whichever one, I don't care. For her nerf, I think F Smash is way too powerful and way too big a hitbox for 2 little Eskimo babies. The main problem with Sheik, and one that's become pretty much a meme at this point, is that she really struggles to kill. I wouldn't change her tilts because they're great for combos, so instead I would give her back air a lot more knockback, because once you get out of bouncing fish percentages, more often than not you're looking for stray hits from 130 to like 200%. Her most busted aspect is her F tilt up air strings, but like they don't do any damage. I think we found our one and only unnerfable character. But moving on to Sheik's true identity, there is one move which is at the same time terrible and OP, and that is Neru's Love. How many times have you seen this? A whiff, followed by Neru's Love. You should be quite familiar if you've ever played an online Zelda, because that's all they do and they don't know anything else. It's extremely predictable and punishable if you're a decent player, but that does not mean that it doesn't make for the most garbage gameplay in the entire game. So Nintendo, please give it like 10 times more end lag so Zelda players stop spamming it and actually use their brains for once. Okay, I'm actually gonna give her a buff though. I promise. She needs less end lag, when she uses her down special. It's literally 66 frames. You have to wait over a second to actually shield. And yeah, you can just release it early before it finishes, but you're still screwed if your opponent jumps over the tiny hitbox you just produced. Either that or make her neutral air stronger and more consistent, because people fall out of it all the time and it doesn't kill, and it's really her only viable offstage aerial. It's unlikely you're gonna get a sweet spot on back or forward air, and no one's dumb enough to go directly underneath you for a down air. Alright guys, so that is gonna do it for part 1. Oh my god, I forgot about Kirby. And I've been using his music. Alright, so they did really good work with Kirby in the last patch. She's a lot better now, but I still think there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Aside from giving him just generally bigger hitboxes so he's not outranged by every other character in the game, I think it would benefit Kirby a lot if he had more airspeed so he's not as vulnerable off stage. From an online gimmick hater standpoint, I would nerf either his up tilt or his down air. They're way too spammable on Wi-Fi. Down air has a deceptively large and lingering hitbox, and up tilt is just way too fast and has very little end lag. So I think it would benefit Kirby players to stop relying on these two moves because it gets very old and predictable after a while. But now we are done with the video. What did you think about it? Let me know what you would buff and what you would nerf about these characters in the comments. Part 2 will be coming sooner rather than later, but do you want to see 10 to 15 characters per video and get a little explanation of why I'm buffing and nerfing these aspects, or would you rather have me go through it a lot quicker? Either way, if you're not subscribed already, make sure to do so. I appreciate all of you guys, and I will see you all later.
Hello, welcome to the outro. Make sure to click this. Click that as well. If you don't, I'll be really sad.